Right, we've got 2 castors in. Certainly a bit of a challenging job. What I ended up doing was taking the stub shafts out because I had to take the bloody things home and press the bottom bearings on first, like that, because they're extraordinarily tight. Just run the flapper wheel and die grinder around the inside of the bearings first. That sort of helped. Several bits of pipe over the top of them to push them on in the press. Got them on. Probably show you how I do the other side tomorrow. But once you're done, both in, bolted up, it's time to set the steering. So you need a straight edge clamped onto your hubs so that they're perfectly in line, obviously. And then comes the fun part, setting the steering bar. Actually ended up not having to cut this part off the bush, which was good. I think it'll work. Everything seems to be lined up. So these have to be welded up a little bit on these housings, caster housings, so that this will not foul on there. If someone steers it incorrectly, and by that what I mean is when you're folding it up, the baskets have to be out full width, or else the front ends up folding in and hitting, in which case these can fail if that's not high enough to get over the top of that. So the main thing is get your distance there right, which ended up being 54.91 millimetres roughly. So I got that distance there right. Ran the spirit level across the top of the housings, bang on. I did have to tap this bloke down from up there, just loosen that off and tap that down because that was going to be too high as it was. So now we've got a little bit more clearance there. The bolts are only there because they're a good fit. The roll pins will go back in when it is all said and done, but regardless, that can't go anywhere, so that's all nice and tight. Ran the spirit level across the top of these and had them lined up pretty much perfectly. So all that's square, straight, just tacked on temporarily, and I shall tackle the rest of it tomorrow. Righto, so that's how you get the first, well, that's how you get the caster in, not the first one, but it's about the only way I can do it on my own because they're heavy motherfuckers, and trying to hold that up there and press that bearing housing on by yourself is near impossible. So I just got a bit of 65mm box, nice thick bit, which also doesn't matter how thick it was, on the trolley jack, slip the caster up through the hole, the top of the shaft anyway, sit it on the box and then just jack it up, and that at least will allow me to get the top on. The main thing is you then have to remember that you need to put the spacers on first, so you don't have to pull it all apart again. And whack that on, bolts in, bolt it up, and stub axle back in, and all is good. So, got this side done now, apart from paint. Test fitted up the wheels. These aren't the same size tyres that they use on the 12 metre rakes. I think they were, what are they, at least 800 mil diameter. These are 760 mil overall diameter. But these are implement tyres, whereas they just use road tyres, four-wheel drive road tyres on theirs. I don't plan on towing it down the road at 100 k's an hour, so for paddock work, these will be suitable. And if these aren't suitable, well, guess what? I have ample amount of room. There is 50 mil clearance between the bottom of the caster and the tyre now. So these are 760, gives you about a 29 inch profile. So if I want to go up to a 30 inch, or even, yeah, I could probably even go to a 31 inch mud tyre. Potentially. That still gives me enough clearance to actually do something there, because these are the same casters that they use for the 12 metre ones. So whatever tyres they run on the 12 metre rakes, I can now run on this as well. But yes, all steering geometry, brackets welded on. That was straight edged, sat square flush against there, verniers between there and there to get the exact widths, pretty much anyway, within reason. Just had to drop this shaft fractionally, probably 10 mil. That was sort of up against the bush before, but to get enough meat here to weld that on, that needed to come down, otherwise these would have been sort of way up here, which was no good. So that is about where it needs to be, I think. If I was really seriously worried about it, I could just add something to there, but that's not going anywhere because it physically bloody can't, because that sits on there, that's welded onto there, same on that end. So, like I said, that one's done. Just need to finish the other one off and pull it apart and paint it.